Am I the asshole for being upset that my wealthy boyfriend got me a cheap gift?
Jail! Welcome to Reddit Stories with Rich Kids, where we, two girls who dated enough rich men, know that being broke is not the only red flag. We'll be judging your dating decisions. I brought my co-judge and high school friend, Maya. Maya has been on plenty dates, but has entered only one serious relationship with an NBA player. How did that go, Maya?
Listen, after what I've been through, I don't think anything on Reddit will surprise me.
My loyal friend the Rabbit will help me and Maya to decide if OP deserves to go to jail, house arrest, or not guilty. Silence. The court is in session.
Am I the asshole for being upset that my wealthy boyfriend got me a cheap gift? Me, 21, boyfriend, 21, comes from a wealthy family, and I'm from middle-class family. His family went on a cruise, and all the siblings and their significant others came along. I was happy to be there and very grateful that his parents invited me. At one point, everyone was sitting down together and my boyfriend started bringing out gifts. His parents and siblings and their significant others got things like watches, dresses, fine wines, and other clearly expensive things. When he got to me, he gave me one of those plastic, that's all I need to know.
That's not eco-friendly.
Plastic bracelets with the company, like their company name on it. You can get those at the company's main headquarters for free.
Keep going, maybe there's context.
I was a little taken aback and a little embarrassed, but didn't want to be rude. Everyone was kind of looking at me in a way that they were both amused and also pitiful.
Not the pity look.
I didn't want to complain, so I said thanks and moved on. When we got inside, I asked my boyfriend what that was about, and he told me to be grateful and stop complaining because he always gets me nice gifts, which is true.
Okay.
I just stopped pushing it because I felt like I was being selfish there, and he did have a point. I feel like what he did was very degrading. He could have gotten me no gift at all, and that would have been less humiliating. Agree?
Yeah, I agree as well.
I feel like trash for feeling this way. But he's always been mindful, and I don't understand why he did that. It made me feel cheap in front of everyone. I don't know. Am I the asshole for feeling this way and even bringing it up?
The first thing which I want to say is that I feel like sometimes guys who financially depend on parents, they're okay with giving expensive gifts to you when you're one-on-one.
Right.
But in front of witnesses, such as family, they do not feel comfortable doing this because everybody understands that they're most likely not spending their own money.
They will get questions after.
Yeah. What if his mom is like against him spending any money on the girlfriend?
Right.
But then he should have warned her about this, right? And he should have like just not give her anything in front of them.
Yeah, like I have something for you later.
Exactly.
Babe.
Was it from him? Like watches, fine wines, dresses?
That's where I'm confused because it says his parents and siblings got things like what? Yeah.
So from him.
Oh no. Oh no. This is bad.
That makes it even worse.
That makes it so much worse. So you're going around the table. Imagine mini AP for you, Dolce dress for you. Here's a Chanel bag. Here's a Petrus bottle of wine. Here's a rubber bracelet from my company lobby that I picked up and I found in my pocket.
Maybe that's his way of presenting that she now owns part of the company. There is something deeper there, right?
There has to be.
Because he gives her nice gifts occasionally, as she
said he always gets me nice gifts.
So it's like a family thing for sure.
Before we continue, let's talk about what happens when your family has too much influence over your relationship. Sometimes relationship problems are caused not because you do not love your partner enough, but because you still carry your parents' expectations, seek their approval, or struggle to set boundaries without feeling guilty. That's why I want to thank our sponsor, BetterHelp, for making this episode possible. When I was younger, despite of having a very loving and healthy relationship with my parents, I struggled to separate from them emotionally because it felt like almost abandoning a part of our bond. But therapy helped me to understand that as you grow, healthy boundaries do not weaken your relationships, they actually make them stronger. BetterHelp is entirely online, so it works around your schedule. After a quick questionnaire, you'll be matched with a licensed therapist who understands you and your concerns. So if you're struggling with setting healthy boundaries, relationships problems, or work stress, remember, you do not have to deal with this alone. Head to betterhelp.com/privilegedfew or click the link in the description to get 10% off your first months. And now, let's get back to our episode.
You know, I will share a story with you. I actually also once went on a yacht. As
On a
they say.
cruise?
Yeah, pretty much on a cruise with a family of one of my ex-boyfriends. First of all, my dad, like, as I told him about the trip, my dad was like, do not go. You will regret it. And I was like, no, his family loves me, blah, blah, blah. I have to buy his family very expensive gifts because they're taking me on this hella expensive vacation, okay? They're like, oh my God, Albina, it was way too expensive. You shouldn't have done this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I love giving gifts, okay?
Yeah.
And then the boyfriend, he gives me a gift, but he doesn't do it in front of the family, okay? He kind of played it off and he was like, oh, like I have something special for you. I'll give it to you later. And I was like, cool. He gives me the gift and it's like a very fucking expensive bracelet, right? And then the next day, we're still on this boat and his mom notices
Like
this
you're wearing
bracelet.
the bracelet.
Yeah, obviously. Like that
Right.
was probably fucking stupid now that I look back. And she was like, oh, like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's a gift from your son. And she
Oh, no.
side-eyed him so hard.
Oh no.
And I knew in that moment that like,
He used his parents' credit card.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what? That led me to a question like, how appropriate is it for guys to buy something with their parents' money? But at the same time, just get a fucking job, bro. You know, he wasn't like 21 like the guy in
Yeah.
the story.
Right.
This is very important for girls to know who are dating rich guys. If his parents are okay spending money on him, it doesn't mean that they're okay with him spending money on you.
Parents covering his like expenses and whatnot, rent or like vacations, travel, everything like that, versus a gift for your girlfriend, that should be your own money.
Yeah.
But I also wanna like empathize or sympathize with men a little bit here because I can understand the pressure of like coming from that kind of family and seeing like gifts that your dad maybe gets your mom and you feel like you just like feel pressure that you need to like step up to the plate in that way.
I agree
don't
with
know.
you. I was expecting crazy ass expensive gifts from my boyfriends ever
Yeah.
since I was 16, bro.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't give me very expensive gifts, I would think like,
Wow, like you don't love me.
and now that I think back, I'm like, wow, if I'm a parent to
Yeah.
like a 16 years old and my child comes to me and they're like, oh, I'm about to drop 5K on my random ass girlfriend from
In high
like freshman
school.
year in high school,
Yeah.
I would be like, you have to stop. But
yeah.
at the same time, it's weird.
It's so
weird.
weird.
It's so weird being rich. You know, I'm glad that when my friends had birthdays, I never had to explain to my parents why I'm buying such an expensive gift. Everybody understands that it's not a gift from
Yeah.
me to you, but from our
Yeah.
family to your family. You
Yes.
know?
Very traditional.
You're not guilty. But you should probably talk to him about his relationship with his parents and their finances so you have transparency to it.
Am I the asshole for not paying my daughter's tuition after she cheated on her boyfriend? Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell?
That's your daughter. My daughter has a boyfriend for 3 years who I became really close with. He was basically part of the family. My daughter is off to graduate school and I told her I'd pay for her university tuition. But then I found out she's breaking up with her boyfriend because she cheated on him with some rich Saudi exchange student.
Not the rich Saudi.
Not rich. Rich.
Rich.
He promised to take her to Riyadh
Oh, of course, he will never marry her.
and Dubai for a week of luxurious vacationing. But of course, he left her. She went crying back to her boyfriend.
The audacity.
Like, girl, at that point, move on. I'm obviously on the boyfriend side. My daughter f***ed up. And I've decided that I'm not going to pay for her tuition. I'm heartbroken my daughter could do something so degenerate. My wife is really pissed at me for siding with the boyfriend and not taking pity on her. Should I still pay for my daughter's tuition? My wife and daughter are upset that I haven't cut ties with the boyfriend and I still occasionally hang out with him, going fishing and hunting.
Of course.
Okay. Clearly, she needs more education. So, like, help her out.
I actually think that like you have to teach somebody a lesson. I don't know if this is too much.
I feel like they're such separate things. Supporting your child in their educational pursuits.
But now imagine if it was not a girl but a boy. Would you look at it the same way if a boy
Yeah.
cheated on his girlfriend and then mom was like, I'm not going to pay for your tuition after you've done something like this?
That's like punishing your child, taking away education because of a character flaw.
But not taking away education, taken away an easy
The privilege
path
of
towards education. She can
funding
still
it.
go.
Yeah, she can get her
take a
loans
loan.
and maybe rich Saudi men can pay the tuition.
Man, but this reminds me how I've witnessed so many girls in university fall for rich international students without
Yeah.
understanding that they will never bring them home.
Right.
Never. And I think people don't understand it because they've
Yeah.
never met like those international guys. They do not know the culture and they believe a lot of things which they say.
Right.
But also, why the hell is the dad hanging out with this guy? Like, let it go.
Yeah, I mean, my initial instinct is like, you gotta be loyal to your
Daughter.
Yeah,
Even if she f***ed up.
Yeah.
And she clearly f***ed up.
Okay, graduate school, so she's like in her 20s, you know?
Yeah.
And she like got swept off her feet per se by this like Saudi guy. She made the wrong choice. You're taking away her education.
I think, what if something like this happened to the dad before? What if he went to college and he had a girlfriend and she fell for... Now I'm just making up stories.
No, but like really.
But what if
It, like,
his trauma
triggered
response?
something in him, yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I can't explain it.
So the dad put an edit and said, thank you guys for your advice. I realized that I f***ed up. I will amend my ways.
Let's see what people had to say so we get more context.
Seriously, it's between the two people who are together. Parents shouldn't even be a part of the question.
That's a
good point.
Very good point. But when you still financially depend on your parents, the rules are different,
Yeah,
right?
the rules are theirs.
That's the thing about rich kids. It's not like they are turning 22 and they stop financially dependent on your parents. You most likely depend on your parents in one way or another for your whole life, which means you have to take their opinion into consideration.
Yeah.
And if you do not want to take their opinion into consideration, don't take money from them.
Because it's like a respect thing.
But you can't have
You have
both,
to respect them.
you know?
Yeah. Boyfriend wasn't family. He was her boyfriend. She doesn't have to stay with a good guy just because her dad likes him.
Exactly. But maybe he's actually just punishing her because he really liked the guy.
That's what it sounds. It sounds like he like found a friend in that guy. They go like hunting and fishing together.
Find a new friend, bro.
So he's like, well, if you break up with him, I'm not going to pay for school.
So you could say it's financial abuse.
I just feel like it's not right. If she made a mistake, she's a young lady, funding her education would still be a very valuable investment.
I definitely agree with this part, but I chose house arrest because I think it's better to teach such tough lesson while she's still not married and she understands that actions like cheating have very big consequences. I do not know if he has honorable goals in mind as he's doing this, but I will put my faith in him, and that's why I choose house arrest.
Oh my God.
What? I'm already scared.
Am I the asshole for moving out because I don't want to help my boyfriend with rent? My boyfriend, 26, and I, 24, have been together for 3 years. We live in New York, and he makes over $200K per year, while I'm studying my master's in social work and have no income. Right now, I'm doing an unpaid year-long internship, 3 days per week, as well as classes 2 days per week. It's rare to get a paid internship in social work. Plus, internships are mandatory. I spend 12 hours every day, either working, studying, commuting, or in class. My only free days are weekends, so I have no time for a paid job. My mom helps me financially by paying for my Metro card and healthcare expenses, but everything else I rely on loans. Before I moved in with my boyfriend, there was a roach infestation in my apartment. Yeah, New York City, guys. So I'd stay over at his place a lot. My lease was ending soon, so he asked me if I wanted to live with him. At first, I joked with him that his living standards would go down since I can't afford such a nice place. But he insisted on paying the rent until I finished grad school. Then we would split the rent based on income.
Oh, jeez.
I originally wanted to live in a cheaper...
Sorry, I already want to make a comment. How are men not embarrassed to even say it out loud? He's like a landlord, but okay, keep going.
Right. That's what it's giving. I originally wanted to live in a cheaper place in Queens or Brooklyn, but my boyfriend likes his current place and insisted I move in since he would be the one paying the rent. So I moved into his $5K per month luxury condo in the city this August. All of a sudden, my boyfriend recently started asking me to pay half the rent, $2.5K, so in that same place. The switch up is crazy. I was confused because he was the one who wanted to pay all the rent in full, rightfully confused. Apparently, he was talking to his friends and they all think it's weird that I don't pay rent and that I'm a gold digger.
Right, of course. What else?
I let my boyfriend know that I can't afford $2.5K per month. And he said,
let him know before. He knew that.
Yeah, and he said he would pay the rent. And now you're going back on it? He said that I'm leeching off of him.
The language would I would go to jail if somebody would use such language with me.
So I told him that he should find someone within his social class so he doesn't have to worry about a gold digger like me leeching off him. Period. I stayed at my friend's place for a few days while figuring out what to do. I called my mom about my situation and she is willing to help me out, but the maximum she can afford for rent is $800. I found some places in Queens within the price range less than 15 minutes away from the city and a bus ride away from my school, so I went to check them out a couple days ago. I've been texting the landlord and my new roommate and I already signed the lease. I told my boyfriend
He's still a boyfriend? Go on.
about my new place and he got upset and asked me to stay.
Oh no.
Boy, if you don't get it together, a whole mess. Oh, he said that he was willing to accept $800 a month instead of 2.5K.
So now he's negotiating with
If
her.
that's all I can afford. But I told him I don't want him changing his mind again and demanding more money from me in the future. Good. But why is he still your boyfriend?
Yeah.
He lived in this condo alone for several years. So it's not like he can't afford to live there without my help. And that's the thing. I wouldn't mind splitting rent with him, but I wouldn't
That's the
have
problem.
to live in a more affordable place outside of Manhattan like I originally wanted. Apparently, some of our mutual friends think I'm being unreasonable for moving out instead of talking to him and staying by paying the amount I can afford in
Drop
rent.
those friends.
And that I shouldn't have let him pay my portion of the rent.
People want to be others to be miserable so bad.
So bad. Misery loves company.
Exactly.
First of all, I don't know why he's still your boyfriend. It says more to me about his character more than anything that he went back on the promise after she moved in. Like for a woman to move in with a man, for me, it's like a huge deal. Like I probably wouldn't really do it until I was like engaged. I mean, between couples, everyone has a right to make their own arrangements. Who's the breadwinner, if they split things and whatever, fine. But to go back on a deal or like an offer really of like, babe, move in with me. Like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then you have a conversation with your friends and they're like, no, she's a gold digger.
How easily influenced are you as a man?
Like that to me says more than wanting to split 50-50.
And why did you not defend your woman? Like, I can't
Yeah.
imagine if somebody would call me a gold digger to my husband
And they would just agree.
yeah, and they would just agree. He's your worst enemy, girl. That's
The
the
worst.
problem. He's the enemy. The fact that his friends were even
Your boyfriend
comfortable
hates you.
saying something like this to him means that he also
Yeah.
talks shit about
Yeah.
her to them. But how do you feel overall about like splitting rent 50-50?
I'm not into it. Don't love. It's strange to live with a man who doesn't take pride in being a full provider.
I do not see a problem with people splitting the rent.
Yeah.
What works for two financially.
Yeah.
The problem is when he promises one thing and then he takes it back.
That's like a
How can you
character
rely
flaw.
on a person like
Right.
this in the future? Imagine,
So like, let's have a baby. And then I'm
Exactly.
8 months pregnant and you're like, actually,
actually, you have to go work. That's why prenup, guys.
click the link below to learn more about prenups. Update, yes, I did dump him.
Finally.
I blocked him and his idiot friends on everything. My friends also blocked him since he tried to contact me through them. I'm going to enjoy being single and never relying on a man financially again. I don't know if that's the lesson here, but
I'm saying that she's not the asshole, but she should learn some boundaries in the first place.
oh, I get it.
The moment which I'm judging
Oh,
is
when,
that she left, she didn't call him out on all of this bullshit, and he was still her boyfriend
yes,
for
yes,
some
yes.
time.
And he let his friends sway him, and even her friends
Yeah.
were saying she's crazy for not
Yeah.
paying half.
I hope she got better friends.
Yeah.
So since you dated some athletes, I found some threads just for you, so you can share your experience with us.
Am I the asshole for not watching my boyfriend's first professional game in person? I really need to be careful with the details so that neither of us get identified.
Did you write this?
I started dating my current boyfriend in high school. I was a nerdy girl, and he was a student athlete. It's giving High School Musical. We crossed paths during one of our classes, hit it off, and have been dating for most of my teenage and all of my adult life. I like to think that we have a strong relationship. We've even talked about getting married. For college, he got a scholarship to attend a great program, and I chose to study at the same university to be with him.
Big mistake.
He worked his ass off and managed to get drafted and made it to the country's second squad. During all this, he was away a lot, training, working out, games outside of the country-state, and I didn't have money to go most of the time. It was his dream to have me attend one of his games where he plays really well. At the same time, I also...
Which doesn't happen often, it sounds like.
At the same time, I also started a small business, go girl, which I now work full-time for. And it has recently taken off, and I'm super proud of myself and the company.
Congratulations.
Yes, we love this. My boyfriend's club team played its first game a few months ago, and he was on the squad. He cried, I cried, we were so happy. He wanted me to fly 6 hours to attend the game, but I had a business to attend to. We just started getting big clients, and I don't feel like leaving for 3 days in the middle of the week for this. I tried to reason with him, promising I'd come to a weekend game. I told him I'd watch it on TV, and he agreed to this at the end, but he was clearly disappointed. For his first game, he played well, but they lost. Their next game was over the weekend, which I flew to, and celebrated the win for him. But clearly something was off. He was being cold and sad, and after me bothering him for hours, he told me that he had one wish, and I couldn't make time for him, and that he doesn't think I want to see him succeed in life. These men, oh my God. And he even said that I didn't need to run this business because his money was enough for us to live comfortably.
Then how
Yet
come
she's saying she can't afford to come to games.
Yeah.
That isn't true. The money he is making is great, but my company is my baby. I worked for years for it to be where it is, just like he did. It's been a while now, but he just seems distant. His parents who attended the game called me an asshole for not being there with him, and I just feel like I betrayed him now. I have a feeling he'll just break up with me, and I don't know if I made a huge mistake. Am I the asshole? I mean, the first thing that stood out is that she's paying to come to his games. Never. Maybe if you're surprising him. If he wants your support and he wants you there, he can send a plane.
No, wait, you're talking about very rich athletes who can send a plane and pay for everything. This is not this type of situation.
Clearly. But he can buy a
You're
ticket.
like, clearly.
He can buy a ticket, right?
Well, it sounds like he's saying that he's making a lot of money, so
Right.
in his mind, he can probably buy a ticket, but he doesn't for some reason.
But then he wants to be sad when she's not there.
But I can also understand that. You know, that's why it's always tricky when two people in a couple work.
In my experience with professional athletes, it requires a lot of time to be their support system, and it's on their time. They're always traveling, so if you want to see each other, you end up traveling with him and with the team. Now you're like, how do you hold a job if you are always traveling and supporting him? I get it, but I also get wanting to have your own thing going for yourself.
In my relationship right now, both of us, we have businesses.
Yeah.
But I know that if something important happens in his life, I can rely on my team to make things happen, you know?
Right.
Like, if you leave as a manager and the whole team falls apart, then you're just a bad manager.
Right. Half of those clients would probably be like Zoom anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We don't have enough details.
Exactly.
Is she a lash tech? Like, does she need to be there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're the asshole. His first game was important to him, but you chose to work instead. Sometimes we have to choose our loved ones first. Work will always be there.
I think it's deeper. It's like, why would I leave my business to go, like, she doesn't like him like that.
She doesn't like him, exactly.
She doesn't like him. Like, she's like, no, I'm going to choose me. Like, I'm going to choose myself. Why would you should want to be there for exciting milestones with each other. That's the whole point. It just seems like she's not into him anymore.
And sometimes it's hard to drop those relationships which you started in high school.
Oh my God, yeah. And like she saw him through to this point. And now she's supposed to be like enjoying it with him.
I kind of feel like she's the type of person who's doing those nasty things because she doesn't want to be the one to break up
Maybe.
first.
So she's just being like a bad girlfriend.
I can't imagine having a huge milestone for my business, for Privileged Few, or you having like your first concert ever, and your partner not being there.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine.
I just don't feel like leaving.
For me, it's straight up saying, I do not care about you. It would be so heartbreaking because you see all of those other people cheering for you, but not that one person. It's like, you know, when you were like in kindergarten and you have like this little concert and you're looking for your parents and they're not there. And I feel like when you grow up, you look for your partner.
Yeah.
And don't put like this whole business into this. Like, if you
It
want
seems
to
like
make
she's
it happen,
using that as an excuse.
Exactly. And that's what I don't like the most. Like, just be straightforward.
Yeah. I chose house arrest because we're quick to overlook women's businesses, and women ourselves
Well, now you're gonna make me look like a shitty person. Go on.
No, I just think if it's a man, no one questions when a man has to work. Like, he's a man. He's got to work. He's got to take care. But when a woman does it, it's optional.
I totally see what you're saying.
So that's why I did house arrest. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's mom to stay out of his bank account? For some context, my boyfriend is 24. I'm 23. We've been together for 5 years. We have our own home and an 8-month-old son.
Oh, they're 23, right?
But also boyfriend, not husband. Boyfriend's mom is the kind of woman who always kept note on everything going on and tends to be controlling. She also works at the bank we both have accounts at. Yeah, this is messy. Trying to get messy. For years. Even, because go to another bank, like, for real.
Literally, what's the problem?
You're getting some
Cashback? I don't even know what's cashback, to be honest, but go on.
It's not that. For years, even before we started dating, she's kept tabs on his account. He would make a purchase, and within a few hours, she would call or text and reprimand him for making a purchase she didn't approve of. I was never one to speak up about it to her, despite me being weirded out by it, because I chalked it up to her trying to be helpful. To this day, she's still often viewing his account.
What the hell? Is it his money? Or?
So you're old enough to have a child, but not manage your bank account? It's a little backwards, don't you think? However, in December 2024, I got a payout from a car accident. This was deposited into the account at the bank. I used the money for necessary maintenance on my car and vet visits. She messaged my boyfriend about a week later that I was going through the money awfully fast. This immediately pissed me off. To those that don't know, when you work at a bank, it's illegal and a violation of policy to view family members and coworkers' bank accounts. Of course.
Jail. Actually.
Jail as f***. Oh, she's going through that money like, that is none of your business.
Are you like my wealth manager?
Right. Because of these rules, it's an invasion of privacy. And I kindly messaged her and asked that she stay out of my account. She left me on red, and I know she was talking behind my back to my boyfriend's family, but I needed to make that boundary. I think you need to make a new bank account.
Yeah, exactly. Just make a new bank account.
Things were fine for a while. That doesn't sound fine. Boyfriend's mom messaged him and told him to make sure we got our car loan paid before 30 days. She is just so involved up in there. We literally paid it that day. At this point, I lost it. I had enough of this woman being in our accounts. I also messaged my boyfriend that night with the following: I understand she's just trying to help, but if your mom is in our accounts again, I'm going to the CEO of this bank and say that she's not supposed to be in coworker or family accounts. We were specifically told that it's an invasion of privacy. I know she's used to handling and keeping an eye on everything, but this isn't hers to handle.
How small is the bank if she's going straight to the CEO of the bank also?
I tried to be as nice as possible, but I was furious. She has no business being in our accounts when we're grown adults with our own home and child. Boyfriend called her the next morning, and she was upset at my threat to tell the CEO on her. Apparently, she's been helping out a loan officer and was given a list on accounts to contact regarding a late loan.
She just made up some bullshit or whatever.
Yeah, to uphold the policy and not access the account. She should have told this loan officer that she's not supposed to be in the account and had someone else handle it. Right, because like conflict of interest. Instead, she texted boyfriend about it. I've explained till I'm red in the face that it's weird she keeps tabs on our account. It makes me uncomfortable to have somebody up in my business that's not theirs to be in. Boyfriend doesn't understand how it's weird and says I'm overreacting. His friend says that maybe it's just their dynamic. I call bullshit. Am I the asshole for telling her to stay out of our accounts?
You're the asshole for being in this relationship.
Yeah, for not knowing your worth. You gotta get out.
One time, I was with a man and I found out that his card is linked to his mom's phone. Every time he would like buy something, she would get notified, okay?
How old was he?
24.
Yeah.
Insane to me.
Like, and he buys you coffee and his mom gets a notification.
Or he buys you tampons and his mom's is aware that he went to CVS and like that's wild.
No. This is wild. I mean, the wild thing is not what the mom's doing, which it is wild, but the wilder thing is that he doesn't think it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he just appreciates those reminders.
Let's see what people had to say. Why are you still banking there? Get your own account anywhere and tell boyfriend to grow a pair. That's literally the first thing which we have said, right?
Right.
Why? Like, unless they live on like some tiny
Island,
island.
yeah. And that's the only bank.
Not the asshole for reporting her. You shouldn't have done this long ago. But you're the asshole to yourself. This has
Right.
been an issue for years. Why is your account still at that bank? Everybody has the same question. Just change the bank and report her.
Like, why are you threatening to report her?
Here's a thing about threats. They never work.
Yeah.
You have to
Because
just
people
do it.
think you're bluffing.
Exactly. If you're actually thinking of doing something, you should just do it without a warning, because that's how it works.
Yeah. If you do this one more time, like, I'm gonna leave you. Men don't respond to that. Like,
Exactly.
you gotta just leave. You gotta just show them. I don't think she's an asshole. I think she's not playing the situation right.
Yeah, but
herself.
that's an asshole move towards yourself. She's not an asshole towards them.
Right. Okay. So if it's asshole to yourself, then
yes.
yeah.
You know that there is one topic I absolutely love. Guess what it is?
Prenup.
Yes, you guessed it. I found a good story for you, my friend.
Am I the asshole for asking my soon-to-be husband to sign a prenup? Here's the situation. My boyfriend, now fiance, asked me to marry him, and I gladly said yes. Up until this point, my now fiance has always thought I was low to middle class with modest earnings, which, with just the work I do to make a living as of now, is an accurate statement. However, I have assets through various inheritances that are quite valuable, all of which have been kept in a trust for me that I'm not allowed to touch until my 21st birthday. Wow, so they're getting
very
married
young.
quite young. The cumulative value of investments that include property, stocks in my family's cattle ranches, and undeveloped land that holds desirable natural resources such as crude oil, timber, copper, and various rental properties is approximately 200 million, though the value is completely based upon the current market value, which is always subject to change. So he thinks she's low to middle class. She's sitting on 200 mil.
It's kind of like, you know, those Korean dramas
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
fall in
yeah.
love with the guy and he's poor, and then you find out that he's a prince.
Yeah, and you're like, baby, I had no idea I loved you for who you were. So when he asked me to marry him, I disclosed all of the above to him and requested before we get married that he sign a prenup. I explained it's not that I don't think we will stay together forever or anything like that. It's just to protect us both if forever doesn't happen, and heaven forbid, if it doesn't, it's very important to me to keep said things in the family or any children we have in the future. He was admittedly shocked and a little hurt. I didn't share the information on my assets before now. But in my defense, I can't touch it, nor do I receive any monetary stipends from said things, so I don't think about them or count myself as having them. I live solely within the means of my paychecks each month. When I brought up the prenup, though, he felt it was my saying we wouldn't work out, which is not true at all. Will people just stop saying that? We just happen to live in a community property state. I said that it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So now he is upset and angry with me.
For what?
A little hurt, too, that I hadn't disclosed these things prior. He thinks I should have trusted him enough to give him this information a lot sooner than now, but it's not about trust in my book. I've always been taught to never discuss finances like that unless the person was your spouse or soon-to-be spouse. Now he thinks I'm an asshole because A, I don't trust him, B, I'm asking him to sign a prenup, and C, I've been lying to him this entire time.
Why is he even upset with her?
If he didn't know she had it, what difference does it make to him?
And it's not like she's even using this money as of now.
Yeah, she doesn't even have, it's not liquid or anything.
Why is he not celebrated? That's what I
Right.
don't get.
I don't know, I think people get thrown off by like prenups because it's like, you don't love me. You're like, why are you planning a divorce when we're just getting married? But you never know. Someone could go do ayahuasca and like wake up in their 50s and be like, I don't want to be married. I want to like run in the jungle.
And if you get divorced, your assets are going to be split regardless. It's just,
do you want to let the government decide?
Exactly.
Or do you want to
why?
decide?
One thing I keep on saying on my platform over and over again, that it's best time to sign a prenup when you're completely in love with
and you
each
can
other.
like just talk about things. And it's not like prideful and ego-centered and
like during the divorce.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard. Like you're already going through the emotional stress of a divorce.
Right.
And on top of it now, you also have to think about the financial sides of things.
Yeah, it's a mess.
You know, people use this narrative against women for so long that if they don't want to sign a prenup, then it means they're gold diggers.
Right.
But now that women understood that they can also use prenups in their advantage, everybody's all of a sudden like, oh no, prenups are bad.
Yeah. How are you gonna sign a marriage contract, but then get thrown off by another contract?
Yeah.
Like,
that's such a
marriage
good
is
point.
already a contract. So then why get married if you don't believe in papers and government and contracts?
Yeah.
Like, you're not opposed to signing that. So just sign that.
Not the asshole. I would definitely get a prenup if you're only 20. Oh, and he's 27. Did we miss that part?
Oh my God.
More importantly, I wouldn't even consider getting married until later in life. No offense, but young people make mistakes and you are still very young.
Gotta wait for that frontal lobe to develop.
This
Yay!
was
This
finally
is the only one we agree on.
Yeah.
Keep your money, girl.
Guys, Maya is also a singer and a songwriter. So if you want to listen to her songs, here's the link. She actually wrote a song about her ex NBA player, which is called Benched. Give us a few.
I am no longer on the fence. Sit your lame ass back on the bench. You're not in the starting five. You're not even in the starting 10.
Talking about roasting.
The relationship was over.
It was so fun speaking with you.
It was so fun.
Oh, and actually, guys, for those of you who do not know, it's my birthday today. I turned 29 years old, and Maya flew to Madrid to spend it with me. So thank you so much.
And I wouldn't
Maya.
want to be anywhere else. And because it's your special day, your birthday, I brought a little something.
Ooh,
Albina.
I already recognize the bag.
This is a special gift from my mom and I that we wanted to present you with.
Thank you so much,
on
my
your
friend.
birthday.
Dude. Thank you so much.
Yes, so it's a piece of Ukraine and a reminder of your strength.
Thank you, bro.
Happy birthday.
Our audience has to comment if they want to see more episodes with you, because maybe we will start a rubric where we give you relationship advice and read Reddit stories. Like, subscribe, and as always, do whatever you want with this information.